Jay Blades has been charged with engaging in controlling and coercive behavior against his estranged wife.
Jay Blades, star of The Repair Shop, became a beloved figure for his craftsmanship, warmth, and the empathy he brought to every restoration. Fans admired not just his skill with wood and antiques, but also the heart he put into bringing treasured family heirlooms back to life. Since its debut in 2017, The Repair Shop quickly became a staple of British television, a show built around connection, memory, and care. Its concept was simple yet powerful. People brought in old, often worn-down items filled with personal history, and a team of expert craftspeople restored them with respect and attention to detail. Jay stood at the center of it all, not just as a restorer, but as the emotional heartbeat of the program. His calm confidence and genuine kindness created a sense of trust, making nervous owners feel safe handing over precious keepsakes, wedding dresses, childhood toys, letters from lost loved ones. Jay's story and presence resonated with viewers, adding a layer of inspiration and relatability. For many, The Repair Shop was more than a TV show. It was a moment of healing, nostalgia, and hope in a fast-paced world. Families made it a weekend tradition, finding quiet joy in its gentle pace and emotional depth. Yet behind the scenes, a different story was unfolding. While viewers saw Jay's steady hands and warm smile, something serious was brewing, so significant that even Anderson Cooper reported on it. Whispered absences, quiet changes, and rising concerns hinted that not everything was as it seemed. For years, Jay had been the soul of the series, so when fans noticed his growing absence, concern followed. The comfort and trust they associated with him began to feel uncertain. And though The Repair Shop remained a symbol of care and connection, the truth behind the scenes would soon emerge, bringing Jay Blades' journey on the show to a sudden and heartbreaking end. To truly understand the legacy of Jay Blades and the remarkable team behind The Repair Shop, it's important to reflect on the highlights and unforgettable moments that made the series one of the UK's most cherished shows. The Repair Shop was never just about fixing things. It was about restoring memories, preserving history, and rekindling hope. Viewers quickly connected with the show because of the emotional weight behind each restoration. People brought in deeply sentimental items, a grandfather's battered toolbox, a mother's worn wedding dress, or a faded photo frame filled with generations of memories. Jay's mastery, especially with wood restoration, stood out in many episodes. Whether repairing a broken chair or refinishing a treasured table, he approached each project with immense patience and care. But what truly set him apart wasn't just technical skill, it was his warmth. He had an uncanny ability to put people at ease, gently guiding them through emotional moments and offering quiet hope, even when something seemed beyond saving. One memorable episode involved an elderly woman who brought in her grandmother's music box. Time had worn down its wooden case, and the mechanism was rusted. Jay meticulously restored it, explaining every step along the way. When the box finally played its tune again, the woman was moved to tears, along with countless viewers. It was a moment that captured the heart of the show, the joy of rediscovery, the power of preservation, and the emotional release of seeing something precious brought back to life. Beyond Jay's role, The Repair Shop celebrated a wide array of expert craftspeople, specialists in ceramics, metal, textiles, leather, and clocks, each bringing their unique talent to the workshop. Yet Jay stood out as the bridge between the team and the public. His easygoing nature, infectious laugh, and sincere conversations made the technical work more accessible and deeply human. Over the years, the show featured extraordinary transformations: a broken Victorian dollhouse restored to its original elegance, a torn wedding dress made beautiful again, a cracked family clock ticking after decades of silence. These weren't just makeovers, they were symbols of healing, of families reclaiming lost history, and of viewers rediscovering value in forgotten attic treasures. Jay and the team came to represent something greater: the belief that broken things, like broken lives, can be repaired. Even the show's lighter moments, Jay's wit, his reassuring words to anxious owners, his chats about each item's story, helped forge a powerful connection with audiences. It's because of these sincere, touching, and uplifting moments that The Repair Shop grew into more than a television show. It became a cultural treasure, a celebration of craft, memory, and humanity. And at the heart of it all was Jay Blades, the warm, steady presence who helped transform not only objects, but the lives connected to them. As the repair shop gained widespread popularity, Jay Blades quickly emerged as one of its most cherished figures. His warmth, skill, and personal story resonated deeply with viewers. He wasn't just restoring broken furniture, he was restoring faith in kindness, craft, and humanity. Off-screen, his honesty about growing up in difficult circumstances and finding purpose through craftsmanship inspired many. His presence on talk shows, public events, and especially social media added to his appeal. Fans celebrated his every update, praised his resilience, and admired his approachable, down-to-earth nature, a rarity in the world of television fame. But as his popularity soared, so did the pressure. Fame, as they say, is a double-edged sword. Jay's life began to face intense scrutiny, with every absence, post, or silence triggering speculation. Behind the scenes, the image of unwavering positivity began to quietly unravel. The warm persona seen on screen masked personal challenges and off-camera difficulties few knew about. Eventually, fans noticed changes. Jay posted less frequently on social media and later announced a complete break, citing a tragic family event and a need to focus on personal matters. The news worried fans but was met with respect and concern. Then came his noticeable absence during the filming of the latest season of The Repair Shop. Viewers were left puzzled, especially as the BBC offered no official explanation. Rumors began to circulate. Some assumed Jay was taking a well-earned rest, while others sensed something more serious. The production team made quiet adjustments. Episodes featuring Jay were removed or delayed, and planned appearances were cancelled. The lack of clarity created a sense of unease among loyal followers. The contrast between Jay's cherished public image and his sudden withdrawal stirred confusion, and soon, the media began digging deeper. Reports about his personal life, once private, surfaced and added a layer of controversy. What had once been a story of triumph and inspiration was now complicated by uncertainty. For longtime fans, it became difficult to reconcile the man they had come to admire with the swirling speculation and emerging news. What had once felt like a pure, uplifting presence in their lives was now clouded by mystery, concern, and a sense of loss. The trust that viewers had built over the years in Jay Blades was suddenly being tested in ways no one could have anticipated. Once a symbol of positivity, craftsmanship, and warmth, Jay's career found itself at a painful crossroads. Rumors swirled, unanswered questions piled up, and the calm charm that defined the repair shop began to show cracks. The first signs were subtle. Jay, once a constant presence for 7 seasons, stopped appearing in new episodes. His absence wasn't just a temporary break, it became a long and unexplained disappearance. Fans noticed quickly. His once active social media accounts went silent, and when he finally addressed the pause, he cited a personal family tragedy, the death of his uncle, as the reason for stepping back. While the public responded with sympathy, the explanation didn't fully account for his continued absence. As time passed, speculation grew. The BBC quietly removed episodes featuring Jay from streaming platforms, and he was missing from promotional tours and events. Industry insiders hinted at behind-the-scenes tension, but no one offered a clear explanation. Those close to the production team remained tight-lipped, clearly navigating a sensitive situation. Meanwhile, whispers began to emerge about issues in Jay's personal life. Rumors of marital trouble spread, though nothing was confirmed. This silence clashed with Jay's public image, an image built on openness and authenticity, which made the situation feel all the more disorienting for fans. The turning point came when Jay's wife publicly announced their separation on social media. It was the first concrete acknowledgement that something serious was going on behind the scenes. For many, it was a shock. The trusted, familiar face who had helped people restore priceless family heirlooms now appeared to be facing deeply personal struggles. But the most devastating blow came next. Reports surfaced that Jay was facing serious legal charges related to controlling and coercive behavior toward his estranged wife. The accusations alleged that his actions had caused her to fear for her safety on multiple occasions. These revelations were jarring, painting a stark contrast to the persona he had cultivated on television. For a man known for restoring broken things with patience and care, the irony was heartbreaking. The public's perception shifted overnight, and what had once been an inspiring story of redemption and skill turned into a painful reminder that even the most beloved public figures can hide deeply troubling truths. As news of the allegations spread, Jay Blades was swiftly dropped from the repair shop tour, and the BBC began publicly distancing itself from him. The once familiar face vanished not only from the screen but also from official events and media appearances. These were not mere personal issues or behind-the-scenes disagreements. The charges were serious. Jay was accused of controlling and coercive behavior, including incidents that allegedly made his estranged wife fear violence on at least 2 occasions. In legal terms, such behavior is considered a criminal offense, reflecting patterns of emotional abuse, manipulation, and intimidation within relationships. The impact of this revelation was immediate and profound. For years, Jay had been seen as a symbol of kindness and healing, someone who restored broken things with patience and compassion. Now, that image was deeply shaken. The hopeful narrative surrounding him was replaced by troubling accusations that painted a starkly different picture of what may have happened behind closed doors. Despite the severity of the charges, Jay pleaded not guilty and maintained his innocence as the case moved forward through Worcester Crown Court. Nevertheless, the consequences for his career were swift and, in many ways, irreversible. The Repair Shop, a show grounded in trust, sincerity, and emotional healing, now faced the difficult challenge of moving forward without one of its most beloved figures. What made it harder for fans was the sharp contrast between the Jay they had known on-screen and the man now at the center of a legal storm. Trust, a core element of the show's identity, was suddenly under question. In response to the public allegations, the BBC removed episodes featuring Jay from its streaming platforms and excluded him from future appearances. His absence was no longer framed as a temporary break but rather as a definitive response to the seriousness of the situation. Jay's silence was striking, and when he finally spoke, it was brief. He simply said goodbye to his fans and supporters. The fallout extended far beyond television. Fans were left divided, torn between shock, sadness, and uncertainty. Some expressed disappointment, while others chose to withhold judgment until the legal process reached a conclusion. Jay's personal life was unraveling publicly. His estranged wife, Lisa, confirmed their separation, adding emotional weight to the already difficult narrative. What made the story particularly jarring was the sharp contrast between Jay's public image, warm, friendly, deeply empathetic, and the private allegations now coming to light. This wasn't just a story about restoring antiques. It had become a story about human flaws, accountability, and the fragility of public trust. The situation serves as a sobering reminder that even the most admired public figures are not immune to personal failures and serious consequences. For the Repair Shop, Jay's departure meant losing more than just the presenter. It meant losing part of the emotional core that made the show special. His absence left a noticeable void, both on-screen and off. As the legal proceedings continue, the future of Jay Blades' career remains uncertain. The outcome of the case will not only determine his legal fate but will also shape how the public remembers him, as a craftsman who inspired millions, or as a cautionary tale of how quickly a career can be dismantled when trust is broken. Jay Blades now faces potentially serious consequences. If convicted, he could face up to 5 years in prison, marking what many believe to be a definitive end to his time in the public spotlight. Even if he is acquitted, the damage to his career and personal relationships may be irreversible. Public trust, once broken, especially in cases involving allegations of abuse, is extremely difficult to rebuild. In the wake of the shocking news and Jay's abrupt exit, many wondered what the future would hold for the Repair Shop. The show, beloved for its warmth, craftsmanship, and emotional storytelling, faced a challenge that went far beyond a simple casting change. For years, Jay had embodied the heart of the program. His gentle demeanor and passion for restoration deeply resonated with viewers. His sudden absence left a noticeable void, and fans expressed sorrow and confusion online as they grappled with the stark contrast between the on-screen Jay they adored and the off-screen allegations he now faced. Yet at its core, the repair shop has always been about more than one person. It's a show centered on healing, of objects, of memories, and sometimes of hearts. Recognizing this, the BBC and the production team acted swiftly, emphasizing that the strength of the series lay in its ensemble cast of skilled craftspeople. Many of these experts had long been a part of the show, bringing their own rich personalities, stories, and talent to the iconic barn in West Sussex. The message was clear: the show would go on. New episodes featured familiar faces alongside new ones, keeping the comforting spirit and emotional depth that fans had come to love. The narrative shifted back to what mattered most: real people, cherished heirlooms, and the transformative power of care and craftsmanship. Behind the scenes, producers carefully balanced the need to address Jay's situation while respecting the legal process, issuing neutral statements without making judgments. Industry insiders acknowledged the unique challenge facing a show built on trust, but they also highlighted the series' solid foundation and the loyal audience it had cultivated. For Jay, the path ahead remains uncertain. With legal proceedings still ongoing, public opinion remains divided. Regardless of the verdict, his once polished public image has taken a serious hit. Meanwhile, many fans have adjusted to the change, some holding on to hope for his eventual return, others turning their support toward the rest of the team as they navigate this new chapter. Online fan communities have become spaces for reflection and cautious optimism, filled with memories of favorite episodes and discussions about how the show might evolve. The situation has also opened wider conversations about the pressures public figures face, and the importance of addressing personal issues before they spiral out of control. It's a reminder that celebrities, for all their fame, are not immune to the struggles and complexities of real life. In the end, the repair shop stands as more than just a television program. It reflects the beauty and fragility of life itself, moments of heartbreak and healing, failure and hope, loss and restoration. As it continues without one of its most recognizable faces, it carries forward a quiet but powerful message, that even when things fall apart, there's always